Hey friends, how are you? Hope you're well and you've had a good week. Mine's been very quiet, which has been lovely. Last weekend I had a stonker of a migraine that kind of really knocked Sunday out, and Monday was recovery day. So bless me. Um, so the week has just been very gentle from kind of there on. I haven't really done much. Well, when I say I haven't really done much, I've caught up with some sort of book housekeeping, as it were, which has been good. There's still other book housekeeping I want to do. I mean, I want to reorganise or get this lot and the shelf up there more better organised, and looking a bit more tidy than it does. So I want to do that. But that can just be done. There are probably books on the shelves that I'm like, will I read again? Probably not. Right, okay. I'll put them out, either donate them or use the W.H. Smith book cycle scheme. One of the two. I can put the books to charity. I know that the library, my local library, if my mum doesn't want to read the Seven Sisters series, I've got them all there, and they would take those. So I'd maybe see if the library wanted some of my other books as well. But that is like by the by. That will happen when it happens. At the moment, that's just in my head to go, right, it's there. I know you need to do it. Reading wise, it's actually been not a bad week. I finished the book that I'd started last weekend and I read two others. So that is actually not a bad week for me. So I finished The Island Cottage by Jane Lovering. I gave this one 3 out of 5. It was alright. It was, for me, I felt it went on a bit too long. I think she could have reduced the wordage. So we meet Brid Harkis, who's come back to Orkney to clean out her great aunt's cottage or house, and when she arrives, she's told to go to this place. Her mother has given her directions, right, you need to go to this place, and she arrives, she sees this gorgeous house, and she's like, all right, this is gonna be easy to clear, put in the market. But that's not the place at all. And the Innes, who lives there with her husband Torsten, she runs a daycare facility out of it for children, and like Brid's like, oh my god, I'm going to be chucking her out her house and her business premises. And then Brid said, oh, we want to see a great aunt's place, and she went, pardon? And Brid, and this is not it. And Brid's like, all right. So they go, and it's basically a button bend, guys. It is a 1-bedroom building, or a 1-room building, with a toilet built on as an afterthought. And there is this built-in larder that is being occupied by a nesting goose. So it's like, well, I've made up the bed is one of these box beds, which is built into the wall with like doors on it. And then it's good, I've put fresh laundry on and I've kept it, as clean as I can, and like, but it's like, yeah, okay, fine. And she also meets Magnus, who's Torsten's brother, who helps Torsten out in the farm, but also runs a jewellery. He makes silver jewellery, Orkney silver jewellery, in Stromness. So there is a rumour about the cottage that it belongs to the Orkney witch, and whoever is living there is the Orkney witch. And she's like, so people started coming to her, and she's like, no, I'm not a witch. I'm just here to, get it ready for sale. But the more she sort of finds things in the house, and she does find a book that belonged to her great aunt, and she sort of starts reading through it, and her great aunt has left some words of wisdom, shall we say. And people just keep coming to her, and she's like, well, my great aunt said was XYZ, so I'm just going to do XYZ. And the more she does XYZ, the more people come, people are still coming to her. And there's one guy in particular who's quite incessant in some ways in wanting to, but that she put that she sells the cottage through him, and he was a bit slimy. I have to say, he was a bit, no, I didn't like him. So you have all of this, and it like the more she sort of she keeps going, yeah, I've got to be back to York, back to my job, and it's like you're sort of thinking, do you really want to go back to York? You got, yes, your parents are there, and you thought you were doing things for them, but basically, were they doing things for you? And so there's all this going on in her head as well. As I say, it was a nice story, but and then the characters were good, and I liked Orkney as a setting, and I did like that, but I just felt, could we not have shortened it a wee bit, please? It just kind of went on a wee bit too long for me. So, but no, it was an interesting, it was a fun read, but not one that I'm jumping up and down about. I then read my first book from my Kindle. Yes. And it was Littered with Trouble by Eryn Scott. I gave this 4 out of 5. This is the first in a series, and it's a cozy mystery, and I really loved it. I gave it 4 out of 5. It was just such a fun story. So I've been hearing words about millennial cozies, and because we got to what is the word? We've got to get books that people on Book Talk will be really interested in, and book publishers are more interested in Book Talk and things like that. And I'm always like, no. Well, this one wasn't. This was not. I would not have said this was like, shall we say, a millennial cozy. The main character's in her 30s, 40s, so that's an older character, which is great. And she has come to the town of Button with her cat Sapphire. Her name is, by the way, Lou. And her best friend Willow lives in Button. And Lou has come because she's had a pretty rough year. Her husband passed away, and there are too many memories where they used to live in New York, and she used to be in book publishing, but she wants to get out of that. So she's bought the bookshop in Button, and she arrives and sort of realises that she's going to have to do some work on the bookshop first before she can open it. And that's fine by her. She's not worried about that. And then one of the first days that she's there, this man comes in because she didn't lock the door. And he looks harried, and he's like, "Where's Kimberly? Where's Kimberly?" And Kimberly was the lady that she bought the bookshop from. And she's like, "Well, Kimberly doesn't own the bookshop anymore. It's me." And the guy looks really like harried and like, oh, and she's like, "Look, sit down. I'll get you a cuppa, and you can, if you want to talk to me." And when she goes away to make him a cuppa, he just runs out the store, and she's like, "What?" But he leaves behind this piece of paper, and on the paper was a dedication to a book. And she recognised the dedication because she had actually edited the book, and she went, "But that's not the dedication we put in." And then on the other side there was a list of names and a list of books, and she's like, strange. But she doesn't think any more of it, and she goes about her day and everything. And then the following morning, when she's taking the trash out, she discovers that the man that was in the shop is sitting dead outside her shop, out the back. So immediately calls Willow, who calls the police chief, who actually happens to live next door to Willow, Easton. And they come along, and this is the investigation, the cozy mystery. It's like, who is the guy? Why are there no tags on his suit and stuff like that? And why is Lou getting threatening notes, threatening phone calls? It all seems to be to do with Kimberly, and is this guy tied up in it and everything. I really enjoyed Lou and Willow sort of being the sleuths. I thought they were really good. They really kind of played off one another really well. I like Easton was a bit, don't get involved, and then you've done what? He was really good at that, and he and Willow have, shall we say, they supposedly don't like each other very much because, like, for a reason. But I think there's more. I think it's like one of these love-hate relationships. I also liked sort of seeing Lou become involved with the community. There's bits to do with cat adoption. Excuse me. So it really was. It was a lovely story, and I have two others in the box set to read, and I don't know how many are in this series, but I will be reading them because I just thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm glad to have started a new series. It wasn't something that I particularly planned for 2024, but hey ho, if I start another series and get a couple of books into it again, then that's fine. I'm doing, it's another one to add to my list. That's one thing in the book housekeeping I've got to do. I want to start a list of all the series that I am reading, so that I can go, right, okay. As I say, I've chosen 3 for this year that I want to get myself caught up on, or to read the next one in. But I need to kind of know what else I am looking at, and sort of seeing, do I really want to carry on with them or not. So yeah, nice little tangent, wasn't it? So yeah, so that's kind of that. I then read On Her Majesty's Secret Service by Ian Fleming. I'm not going to say anything about that because this was my first book on the picks that my mum and dad, the books that they chose for me to read. All I'll say was it was a good start. It was a good start, so that was fine. So what am I reading now? I am reading Michael Ball's book Different Aspects. This is a memoir. Michael Ball, for maybe those of you who don't know, is a musical theatre actor. He's been in Phantom, he's been in Les Mis, he's been in Aspects of Love, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Hairspray. So he's really well known in Britain. He's one of the most popular, I think, theatre stage actors, musical theatre actors, and he also has albums out. He does concerts on his own, but he also does concerts with Alfie Boe. He and Alfie Boe have brought out a number of albums as well. So I really love his voice. He's got a superb voice, and I've been lucky enough to see him not only in shows but on some of his individual tours as well. So it's really nice. It is at the moment we're sort of learning about. He decided to bring back Aspects of Love, but he kind of did a flip in that he played the uncle and not the nephew. He played George, not Alex, and he's like, it's just, we're sort of learning a wee bit with that, but we're also getting a lot of his backstory as well, which is really lovely. So I'm really looking forward. I'm reading that. I'm enjoying it. And then last night on audio, which I'm also counting as a Kindle book, I started the Last Carolina Sister, which is the third of the last Mary Sister, I think it's. I can't remember. It's a Michelle Major anyway. It's not the Carolina Sisters. It's the series before that. Set in. Hold on, give me 2 shakes. Okay, it's called the Merriest Magnolia. So it's the book 3 of the Magnolia series. So or trilogy. I'm really enjoying it, I have to say. It started off well, and I will look forward to continue listening to that over the weekend. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at reading wise. What else am I doing? I have picked up some cross stitch again. I forgot to bring it up with me. I will remember at some point. I will bring up what I'm working on. I've got 2 projects on the go. One a small project, one a bigger project. So I will bring them up at some point and let you see. At the end of this video, once I finish my rambling, Mum and I made microwave lemon curd this week. First time we've ever tried making like lemon curd or jam in the microwave. Oh, it's delicious, friends. It is so tasty. So if I remember, I will leave a link to the recipe that I used in the description down below. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at this week. I did the other thing. I managed to write a letter to a friend, so that was good, and got that posted. So hopefully she'll get that this weekend if she's lucky. But yeah, that's kind of been what I've been reading and what I've been doing. What have you been doing this week? I know a lot of you will be back at work. How was it? You know, I know some people dread going back to work after the Christmas break. So I hope that it wasn't too tough a go back for you. But what else have you been doing this week? What have you got planned for the weekend? What have you been reading? I'd love to know. My weekend, rugby. It's European weekend, so that's quite nice. So we've got Edinburgh and Glasgow playing tomorrow, so I'll watch that. I will read. I will cross stitch. But yeah, that's kind of my weekend. Today I said to Mum I'll make a loaf of bread, so I'll do that, and I'll bake some cookies. But I have the dough already in the freezer, so it's just a case of slice, and put in the freezer, which would be nice. But yeah, that's kind of my plans, loosey goosey. Nothing majorly exciting, I would say, but I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. But that's it for this video. Hope that you have enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I know I'm getting more subscribers, so hello. Thank you very much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Fiona and I live in Scotland. Yes, in lovely bonny Scotland. So I'm really pleased that you decided to subscribe. I hope you'll keep enjoying my videos and commenting, and we will get to know each other through the chats. But until my next video, friends, stay safe and happy reading. Oh, by the way, I've got a Discord now. I will leave the link down below. So if you want to come and join me in Discord as well, please feel free. But until my next video, guys, stay safe, happy reading. Bye. Hello friends, well, it's the first sort of bake of the year. My sous chef and I have decided, I saw a recipe for microwavable lemon curd, okay? So my sous chef and I thought that today would be a good day to try it out. So in this microwavable we have
three normal eggs.
Right, okay.
3 normal eggs and 2 egg yolks.
We have the zest. Well, we haven't got the zest in, it's in another bowl. We have the juice of the 2 lemons and a cup of sugar. We have 4 ounces of unsalted butter here, so we put in 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt in there. So we're just whisking that together, and then I think we add the butter. Hold on.
As smooth as you're going to get it.
Right, so we've whisked until smooth. We now plonk in their butter cubes. Is that all of them? Yep. And then we now go and ding it in the microwave. So we keep dinging it on 45-second intervals and whisk in between. So we'll let you see what it looks like at the end. Okay, this is what it looks like after the 3rd microwavable blitz. So you just keep going until you want it thick so that it covers the back of a metal spoon. So we'll put it back in and just keep going. Okay, this is it after its fifth go in the machine. Let's see if it coats the back of a spoon. I'm just gonna put. Does it? Yeah, it does. What do you think?
You taste that one.
Okay, hold on. Oh, really buttery.
Yeah, and you see, we still got the
zest. I think that's done. Right. So what we do now is give this a really good whisk. So I'm doing that at the moment. And then we add in the zest. Now, at this point they say you should let it cool to room temperature.
I think it's to let the zest
I think it's to settle. So we're going to
get the flavour.
Do you want the wee purple, wee wonderful purple spatula, folks, that seriously is the bee's knees. It will take anything, it will leave hardly any what's the word I'm looking for? Scraps, detritus, whatever word you want to use. So we're going to give this a good stir, and then we're just going to leave it to cool. But it does taste very buttery, I have to say. But once we see, well, it has less, a few, but very little, which is really good. Okay, friends. So Mum, we let the lemon curd get cold, in room temperature, and then we got 3 jars out of it. So really pleased. It tastes delish. I have to say, it tastes so nice. So I'm looking forward to that in my toast.